Hello and welcome to another sound design tutorial with Sky River Sound. My name is James Thatcher, and today I'll be doing things a little bit different. I'm going to be doing today's tutorial entirely using samples from Soundly Pro libraries. And the reason I'm doing this is because right now, if you go to asoundeffect.com, you can come here to get what they're calling their Audio Community Power Pack. And that will give you some free sound effects, as well as 14 days full access to Soundly Pro. Now, what Soundly is, for those of you who haven't heard of it before, is Soundly is both a library and a librarian that operates in the cloud. So it allows you to organize your sound effects, including the ones that you record yourself. It will go ahead and organize those for you, as well as the ones that are in Soundly's libraries that they have. So I've been working with the trailer for a game called Elmarion Dragon Time. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it's a game where you get to, instead of fight dragons, you get to be the dragon. And so I thought, what could be more fun than taking a clip from the trailer of a dragon burning people alive? Doesn't that look fun? So we're going to use that as our sound for today, and we're going to just use sounds that I find in Soundly. So I've gone ahead and picked some sounds and arranged them a little bit. I'm not committing to anything just yet. I'm going to just search for things that might be useful, put them in a place where they might be useful, and we'll fine-tune it all later. So kind of the way that I've been doing this, I'll show you, is I go into Soundly here. I find a sound that sounds interesting. So right here I've searched for dragon. And let's look at some of the sounds that we get just right here. Here's a dragon roar. That might be useful, so let's go ahead and we can create a new track in Reaper for it. And just push the Spot to Reaper button, and it goes straight to Reaper, and it has some good integration with Pro Tools too, from what I understand. So let's hear what we've got just with these layers that's useful and how many more layers we want. That one's obviously starting too early, but I'd like to have something with a little more mid-range content right about here. It's got the nice hiss, but I'd like a little more mid-range to keep going there. So let's keep looking for something with some mid-range, and I'll show you some other cool features that Soundly has. Here's another one. That one's a little too affected, not quite what we're looking for. All right, let's use dragon breathing fire. Too much reverb. There we go, that one's useful. So what you can do, since I don't really need all this stuff at the end, I'm just going to grab what I want, and then I can drag it onto, well, if I had room in my window, I could have dragged it onto a new track in Reaper right there. Let's adjust the clip gain. Let's hear where we're at. I think that'll be good to get us started for the dragon roaring. So I'm going to go offline and do some processing here, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so the first thing that I've done is I have taken this layer here, Creature Monster Demon Screech, and I have gone ahead and used Wave Sound Shifter to pitch that up a bit. And I've already printed it on, so this is what it sounds like with Sound Shifter. And now when we put it all together in context, I All right. I'm going to keep working with these layers offline, and then I'll be back when I make my next processing move. All right, and the next thing that I have done is I've gone back to that same original sound, and I've added on another pitch plugin. This time it is Wave's Ultra Pitch 3 voices. And what Ultra Pitch does is it allows you to create harmonies for vocals, is what it's intended to do, or for other instruments, create harmonies. But I'm using it in order to create some more layers here for our dragon's roar, or for the screech part of its roar. So what I've done is I've gone here and I have taken these two duplicates of the signal, pitched them down by a third and by a sixth, and then I've adjusted the formants on these two layers to be negative, which in most formant shifters makes it sound more masculine or emphasizes the lower frequencies. And then on this one, which is playing unison in pitch, I have gone ahead and adjusted the formants up quite a bit. So I'll let you hear each individual layer here. So here's our original. Here's our unison. Here's our down a third layer. Down by a sixth. All the layers together. And now when we play it out of solo, there we have it. Now I'm going to print this on, and I'm going to start looking at some of the other layers and what we need to do in order to help beef this up a little bit. All right, and the next thing that I've done before I did any more processing was I had to clean up the mess a little bit and organize my session. That is a really important part to doing anything, not just in audio, but anywhere in life really, is getting things organized to where you can make sense of what you're doing and you don't slow yourself down looking for things. So what I've done is I've separated them into 3 groups for the different kinds of sounds. I've separated them into more low energy focused sounds, more mid-range sounds, and then sounds that have their focus in the higher frequencies. And I thought I'd just kind of go through each layer here to show some of the fun sounds that I was able to find in Soundly. The first one is a creature beast voiced in the low sound. To that, I've added in this layer from what they call the flying spaghetti monster, an alligator growl. Here's a designed sound of a dragon breathing fire. Here is a creature beast mad growling. And that makes up our lows, so together we end up with this. Now for the mid-range, we've got the demon screech sounds that I showed you earlier. Another designed dragon roar. One that says Dino Hiss Dragon Roar. Another designed dragon roar. And then just for fun, and because it sounds good, I'm using this layer that I found in Soundly of a roller coaster going uphill. And on its own right now, it doesn't sound quite right, but when you put it in with everything else, it helps add some texture that's pretty nice. And then for the high frequencies, we've got these 2 samples of a snake and of an alligator hissing. So with those, we're off to a pretty good start for our Dragon Roar with those layers that we've got in place and with a little bit of processing that we've done already. I'm going to keep working on this, and we'll be back online once I've made some changes. Okay, so the next thing that I've done is I've moved things around a little bit to get the timing to where it feels better, and I've applied some fades on the demon screech layers. as well as on the main dragon roar layer right here. And then I have also been putting some EQ on. So let's solo this dragon roar layer. Here's the EQ I put on it. Here it is without the EQ. And here it is with. And what I really did, what really helped things to sound good, was realizing the power was in this lower mid-range here, and the aggression really came from this band shell frequency right at 700 hertz. So if I turn this off, now hear what it sounds like. Back on. I filtered out some of the lows and some of the highs just because we've got other layers that are providing those for us. So I don't need them crowding up the low alligator growl and other things that we've got going on. The other one that I've EQ'd has been the roller coaster. Rolled off again some lows and some highs, and then dipped it at about 1,000 hertz. So now altogether we're sounding about like this. All right, and I'll be back with you once I have made some more changes to this.